Hi guys, in this video we will continue our project, which is using the Hotwire, but for now we're gonna focus a little bit on the design. It's not really a full design, but we're gonna put a card in here like what I'm gonna show it to you, and then at the same time we're gonna put a search options, which is search form using the Hotwire on the next video. But for now I'm gonna show it to you what I built. So I have here the navbar, which is very simple, and then we have here I added a field, which is the title, which is we have before the content, and then I added a start and end date. So we're gonna build this together on the next couple of seconds. And yeah, this is what I built that we can build from the scratch together. And what else? Yeah, I think that was it for the design. So we created a card in here from the bootstrap, latest bootstrap, and we use CDN, remember, on the I think in the first video or the second video. And what else? And yeah, we're gonna change the schema of the database instead of creating another migration. So because this is not yet in the productions or in the server, so no harm to change the field inside the migrations. So we're just gonna drop the migration on the previous one. So here, for example, I created a test, and then this is only test. So I added here, for instance, let's pick up some other text in here, just an example. And then I'm gonna put 2023 the end. So and then it will create another how do you call it, a new project. And then if I'm gonna build again, test2, this is the same what we built last time, and then this will be finished in 2024. So you have a multiple project in here, and then it will benefit when we added the search form, so to make it clear. So now, yeah, you can see here the draft. So we're gonna use that on the idea that I'm planning to do in this project is to create a season that the person or the user can create a project, and people can vote and approve this project, and then he can ask other person to join with this project, and then they can collaborate. So this is our project that we're gonna dig in further and further using the Hotwire. So now we're just gonna, like what it says, we're just gonna build a little design so it can be a user more friendly. So here you can see that you can update also, updated, there's an example. And then yeah, it's still the same. So I think let's dig in on how I build this one, a simple one, and we can use just a bootstrap. Okay, so this is our, how do you call it, the project that we left off last time. So here there's no navbar yet, and the card is still not good, but yeah, we can work on that one. However, I added some other design. So here I added the how do you call it, the components folder inside the assets from the app, and then at the same time I added the nav. So this is the navbar. So we have a display, we have a color which is black. What else? We have a text decoration. This is the link where when you click the how do you call it, the link to, and then we have an empty state that I added also in the folder in here. Let me close this one, which is the empty state, which is the class. This is what we built last time. I just moved to another file. And then we have a card, we have a custom card here. The card that we're gonna use is from the how do you call it, get bootstrap. So here I added also the import components, which is the file, the empty state, the nav, and the card. So now we need to work on how we can move in here. And then I think the first thing what we need to do is to, what else? Let's first go to index. So we will align this index. So I'm just gonna how do you call it, added some here, my index that I built from the couple of minutes ago, or how do you call it, yeah, minutes ago that I built. We have here deflex, which is inside the deflex we have a content end, which is this link will show on the right side, and you have a margin of a two down part, and we have a nav bar, which is we're gonna use that in the next video, which is I just used nav bar in here to do a search form, and then I think that was it. And then we will add in the applications.html, the DRB in the layouts, the design in here. What I'm gonna do also is to separate this nav bar to the how do you call it, to the another file, which is we're gonna call it nav.html.drb. So I'm gonna pull out my other so I'm gonna add in here, so it will not take long. So I'm just copy pasting, so it's easy for you guys so to follow, especially for the new developer that can help this. So I just copy paste this in the how do you call it, in the get bootstrap. So if you didn't know get bootstrap, that's very popular. So this is the get bootstrap, and then you can just search here the nav. So if you didn't know, but yeah, then you can design a different what you like. So like what I said, we have here the CDN instead of we added the gem of bootstrap, so it compiled. We added this one instead of compiling in our applications, but we can learn that in the future video. But for now, let's just take this CDN and to use it, so to simplify our project. So again, I have here the navbar, and then I wrap it up for the sign in. When it is sign in, it will show this information. So let's see how it's look like now for that navbar, if you have been missing something. So yes, what else? I think this is not showing up yet, so we can look that later. And yeah, because we have in here, sorry, we have in here that we need to add, so I added the design also in this part. So I added here the partial, which is the layouts of the nav in here. And so I'm gonna call the, how do you call it, the navbar HTML, and then call it to render in here in the body. And then we have a yield, we added a container, and then we created the margin tab, which is 5 in here. So if you're gonna look in here, there's a little bit what else? It's not showing yet. Nav layouts, why it is not showing? Yeah, some delay. So we have here my email and logout. Now we need to move on this one. So I'm gonna pull out the index, then I can explain to you. So I think we already have that one. We have that one. Let's see, index. So here is the index. Now we're gonna add in the project. So here we render the projects, which is the project in here. There's a collections in Ruby on Rails, and I'm gonna copy paste this one. So what I added in here is I added a card custom, which is I'm calling the card in here from the asset of the CSS. And then after that, what else I added in here? So I have a card custom shadow, which is I added the shadow design. So where is it now? Card shadow. So I call it a card shadow. So I added here end, and then I added / shadow, and then I added the design of the shadow. You have a border, radius, and background color, back shadow. So if you want to learn about the CSS, there's a lot of YouTubers there creating a CSS, and also what else? Bootstrap. You can learn from that. You can search that one, and I think in Mozilla MSDN there is also Mozilla SDN. This one is the best that you can learn also how to use, how do you call it, CSS. There is everything, I think almost everything guide in here. There's a good reference that you can just follow. Okay, so what else? We have also the project. So it means, just to recap, we have a card custom. And then if you want to call this project, you just add this / then project. Or if you want to add a shadow, then / shadow. So what I did, like what I said, this one is, if you will go back in here, I added the card custom, and then I call the shadow. So that's very simple in CSS, but there's a lot of things to do. And what else? I added the card header, which is we have a draft. We're gonna use that in the future project. And so we have a draft and publish project, and we have a voting system. We're gonna use that in the future also. And then I added here the title, and we have a content and end and a start. So here you can see that I have a title, and what else? We have a start and end, which is not yet in our schema. However, before we go to schema, we're gonna look also what are the other part that I added, which is this one in the 19 lines. We have a deflex and justify content between, which is we added the deflex that when you move to, how do you call it, to the mobile, and then also it can be, how do you call it, responsive, that you have a, this one is delete and this is the edit. So if you want to know about deflex for the new developers or beginner of those kind of bootstrap, or yeah, so this one you can just go here and then you can find here how to use the deflex in get bootstrap. So this is the same concept what I did. So you have a deflex justify content between, so it is this one. So if you put a button here or div, it goes in this side, so it will be between. So you have also start and center, those kind of things that you can play with it. So that's good in get bootstrap. And also you have a tailwind, which is, we can explore that in the future videos. So what else? Yeah, I think we can dig in, because this one is not gonna work because we don't have yet the start and field and also the title. So what else? Form. Let's go first in here before we go to schema. So let's add the form. So I'm gonna pull out again my form that I did. So I'm gonna copy paste this one because this form already have a design, so don't worry. I just added here the title, I just added here the start and end and some class using the get bootstrap, and then I customize some other part. Let's go first in here. So I added a div and I added the, how to call it, margin to the top, so you have a space of 2, and then you have a card custom project. This is what I discussed. We have also the project, which is, again, if you look in here, I call it the project, so it's easy in the CSS. No harm in our development, especially if you are not a UI guy or front-end developer, so it's easy for you. And what else? So yeah, we added the title here, F label, and start label. We have the target of the label is the start, and then here the start we do a order, which is we have a day, month, and year. And then we call in the field, we have a start year, which is the current year now. So yeah, so now it's 2022, so it must be show 2022 December 2. So what else? What else did I add? So I think that was it. And also here, deflex, justify content between. So, and then I wrap up the link, I put sanitize the back, and then goes to the back of the project, and when you click submit, it submits. So yeah, I think that was it. If I forgot something, let's go back later to this. So again, we are using here a form width. In the future, we're gonna use a simple form. We're gonna explore that using using the Hotwire. So here I'm gonna go to database. So if I will go here to the database, I want to add the title, what else, start and end. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy paste my date, and I will explain to you how it does work. So here we have a title, which is the string. We have a string again, which is, this is the one that we have. We have a content, and then we have a start and end, and then we add the vote, which is default is 0. Okay, I think that was it. So what I did is, instead of creating another migration, like what it says, this is not yet in the production. So what I did is just copy paste this one. Or if you want to add another migrations, you can just go Rails G, then add to the specific project, and then add the field there. But we're gonna learn that in the future, but for now this we're gonna take, so it will not take super long. And then here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this migration, Rails db drop, so it will drop the migrations using we are using SQLite for now. In the future we're gonna use the how do you call it, Postgre. Then I will use the create and migrate, so it will create another migration and then it will migrate. So again, you can also Rails drop here, and then you can just put here on the top, then it will drop and create and migrate. So but for now, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are not using Rails bin, we are just using Rails S. So but next time we're gonna add a proc file dev in here, so we're gonna use the dev how do you call it, bin dev. So what I'm gonna do here, because I don't have yet the account, because when you drop the database, remember it will remove all the records that you have, or how do you call it, data. So I'm gonna put here Ryan, and in the future also we're gonna change this design so it will be compatible in simple form and using the device, so you can see a lot of functionality that can help for the user experience. So I'm gonna sign up in here. So we have here the design, we have now the search in here, and then we have a knob. So again, if you're a new developer, the best thing is to, if you didn't know how to call it, really using the CSS, you can use the inspect and then you can play with it here. For example, just using deflex in here. So instead of column 12, you can see here column 12, and what is the column 12? This is what it says. If you're just using Bootstrap, so you can understand, and you can change also in here, let's say 8, but it will not appear in the code. But this, instead of going back into the code, you can just go inspect in here and play with it, what kind of design that you like to do. So, and once you satisfy, you can just copy paste like this and then add to your, how do you call it, code. So that is how you maybe can help you how to fast track your design. And also, let's say I want to, let's say empty child, if I want to change the design in here, just an example, display none, where is it, let's say this one, instead the border is solid, I will go to the this is the dash. Let's go to just an example, changing the CSS. I'm gonna use the solid. Is there a solid in here? Yeah, solid. So yeah, so instead of dash, you can do like that. And when you satisfy on this design, let's say I will minus 1 pixel only, so it's more little. And then you can copy paste this one and go to your empty class. So let's say just an example, now empty, and then I can just change in here. Then that was it. Instead of you're going back and forth and save and go back again. So to make it easy for you, go to inspect, change it there, and then try to play the CSS. You can add also CSS in here, whatever you want to like. And then once done, then you're done. So I'm gonna refresh this one and go back what we did. And so here, if I create a new project, this one, let's say this is a test project. This is only test. So what I'm gonna do is to copy paste. I think I found here the long text. So we're gonna do the long text because this is a text area. So again, we use the current date, so it will show the current date instead of the last date. You can adjust also to, instead of showing this one, it show here the December, January, February. You can do that also in the date time, I think in the helper. And then 2023, and then when you click create, it will create in here. But again, we have, I think this is not yet fully designed. So what I'm gonna do is to look what is going on. I think we didn't save it yet. So I'm gonna close this one and then go this one. So did we, yeah, we already removed that one. So let's go to the project and let's save this one. What else? Show, did I add the show? No. So here it says we don't have a title. So let's go here. What is happening? Let's go to schema. Oh, sorry, we didn't save the create project. That's my bad. So I save it now in here, and I didn't see that I didn't change that one. So again, that's my bad. So you can see if you made it wrong, you can still go back. So I will go here, drop, and then I will create again. So what I'm doing is to up and down my keyboard. So if you're a new developer, you didn't know a lot of syntax in the command line, that's what you can just do, just up and down and go back again. And then Rails S, I think now it is in there. So again, it's another time for us, but it's fine, it's lesson learned. And so you can, no, sorry, this sign up at gmail.com. So once you sign up, so you have the design in here once I created. So test project 1, and then this is the content that's long. We use the December, we can use December 23, 4, and then create. So we still have issue in here to D. So what is going on? Undefined to FS. So why it is like that? Let's go back in here. Do I have to FS? So this one is not working anymore. So let me check. Okay, I think we have a, yeah, I forgot also in here that we didn't added the yeah, the title. So the title field that we have, and the start, we call it start, right? Start, and then end. So yeah, so I think that's the issue behind. So it didn't save on the how do you call it, into our, so let's read in here, where is that? Yeah, this one, unpermitted title, start, end. So that is why, so we don't have in the project controller for that field. So I added now, so the title, the field, sorry, the start and the end that we added in the schema or the migration. So I'm gonna close this one and go back again to this, and it will throw an error. So what I'm gonna do is go back here. So we have in here, so why, oh, because we have a nil class. So what I'm gonna do is to remove the data for the meantime. So here I will add another Railsy, and then I will remove the project. Let's see the project, that one. So it is nil, that's why. So I will remove that for the meantime. Delete, delete, yeah, delete project, destroy. Use destroy project, then destroy. Arguments wrong. Do we have a? We can use as project. Let's say destroy that all. So it's easy, instead of calling another variable and then we call the project. So since we don't need that data anymore because it's dirty, we don't have information, which is nil. So for now, let's go back again and test project 1. So you know how to debug now most of the time. So let's go here and copy paste this one, and then we have now, let's say it's gonna start tomorrow, and we're gonna finish on 2024 create projects. So now you have this one, the title, which is we added the link. And if I will go to the terminal, so you can see here it is clean record now, so it's safe. So you can see here, let me pull out pick. So we insert the project, which is, it says the title of the project is test1 project. So we have a content, which is the information, and then what else? We have the start, which is this is the value, the end, we have this the value and the vote, and then the created up. So yeah, what else? Yeah, I think we're almost done. So for the design, let's create another one. So to revalidate, there's 2 and this one, and then we added here again. Now it's done. So what we did last time, we created a link. So this is the link. So we changed the class, and this is, you can see it is truncate. You can have two things in truncation. You can use a CSS or you can use a Ruby on Rails. So in Ruby on Rails, how to truncate that one is, I'll go to project and then I will go here and add the truncate method, which is I put 100. You can change whatever you like. If you're a new developer, just put, let's say I want only 10, and then it will show only 10. So yeah, so the user can see it, and you can add here more, or once you click this one, it goes to edit. So here, what we did last time is once you click the project, it goes to show. You can see here, and for here you can edit, and then you can update. So I will close this for the meantime, and then I add 4 and then update. So now we have a project. We have a start, which is December 3 and December 4. And next time we're gonna add a search functionality using the Hotwire, and we can design a bit little by little our project. So our focus is to create a project, create a task, create a user task for the user, and then at the same time, yeah, most of the time using the Hotwire, and then yeah, and then maybe in the future we can, once we are almost there on our peak informations, we can put on the server. So I'm building a new server in my home, but that is sooner. Okay, so thank you for watching, and see you on the on the next update, and using the search. And please hit subscribe if you want to learn more the simple things, especially for if you are a how do you call it, junior developer, or just starting the development, to understand those kind of things. And okay, thank you so much, and see you in the next video then.